We have this class and my class starts now. So welcome everyone to today's session. I think this will be the third session since you are with us in this program. So I'm Gani Oluwasegun Aina, and today I will be treating data preparation in Power BI. And this is very important. I'm sure we've all done introduction to Excel, basic formula in Excel, and we've done our introduction to Power BI. So today I will be showcasing one of my favorite tools ever in this class. So let's get along and enjoy this session. So our agenda for today is we go through the introduction and we talk about the Power Query interface. We talk about connecting data to data sources, different data sources option that we can connect to. And like I said, I'm sure the moderator has sent the files that we will need for today's class to us, and we have time for Q&A. So the moderator has done a great introduction about me. So like the only thing I will talk about here is as you guys are here, I'm also like you 2 years ago, and I was here as a participant, and I'm happy to be here once again to be an instructor. So let's start this phrase by Michael Stonebrick. It goes like this: without clean data or clean enough data, your data science is worthless. So I like this quote, it's very blunt, and it showcases that without proper data preparation and transformation, your insights can never be meaningful. And our agenda for today's class will be going into the concepts of how we can identify this. It's not only in Power BI, it's not only in Python. And rest assured, if you are a beginner, in as much you have Power BI installed, this class is for you. There is a way you can navigate what we are practicing in this class in Excel. And I might demonstrate that just quickly. So now we can see this image in our screen. Somebody is preparing food. And we can see this is like an African kitchen. You know, when we want to prepare food, we cut vegetable, like we want to make vegetable soup. We cut the leaf out, we remove the dirtiness, maybe some stone in it, some branches of the leaf we don't need, we remove it. So in data analysis, there are many stages, but mostly we categorize them into requirement gathering. In this stage, we talk about, we usually talk about the goals and objective of the project. This is where somebody will tell you, I want to analyze my sales dashboard in order for me to make profits. So those are like requirement gathering. You people will ask yourself questions. And we go into the data ingestion. This is where you connect to the data. Sometimes you might require data engineers for this, and sometimes you'll be the one doing it yourself. And we have data preparation and data cleaning. Some people call it data preparation, some people call it data transformation, some people call it data cleaning. In case I use any of these phrase in this class, please I'm saying the same thing. So then we have data exploration, we have data analysis, and we have data presentation. But in this class, we are talking about the data preparation stage. So what is data preparation? So like I said, if you want to make rice, we wash the rice. We make sure it's clean before we pour it into the fire, into our pots. We light our gas. We make sure we have gas. The way we are doing it for the rice that we want to cook, we do it for our data too. So data preparation is the process of getting the data ready for analysis. And how do we know that data is ready for analysis? When the data is clean and ready to be used by us or maybe other people that want to use the data. Like, how do we know that our rice is ready to put into the fire? Like, our rice is clean. Maybe when we put the rice into our bowl, we rinse it very well, we wash it. And when we see that the water is very, very white and clean, that's when we know that our rice is ready. So, and when our data is clean, what can we expect? This ensures that the calculation in our visuals will provide accurate results and our results are also reliable. Imagine now somebody on this group sent me their bank statement for me to analyze. And when I look into the data, I told that person that you spent maybe 300,000 last month. And meanwhile, the person spent 250,000 naira. Due to me not maybe cleaning the data very well, I did some mistake. And when I present that information to that person, the person will tell me immediately no. Even though the person did not track what is taking his or her money, but the person know that he only spent 250,000 naira. So in order for you to stay relevant and be reliable, your data needs to be accurate. So great visual starts with great data, and preparing it properly is the foundation of every report in Power BI or any other tools. Then, when we don't clean our data, we can see a garbage on the screen. The reason why this matters is garbage in, garbage out. Unclean data, bad data will cause this. And if you clean your data very well, you are going to make a trustworthy decision. Like we peel orange, and we can see from this slide also, to lay emphasis on this importance of data cleaning, we can see that when we want to peel orange, for example, let's visualize this together. Please, am I making sense? Please, let's follow along. Thank you. So we see that when we want to peel an orange, we get our knife, and the orange is our data. So we start cutting it around the orange shape by shape, and we start sealing the skin, peeling off, so that the orange will now show like a whitish color. And we know that after we seen that white, our orange is ready to be drink. So it's like that too when we are cleaning data. So what are common things that we do in cleaning data? So we remove duplicates, we fix typo. Maybe the moderator is typing into the spreadsheet, and instead of typing 90, he puts in a numeric column, he inserts text of it, NINITEY. So something like that. In case we see missing values, there are many cases of handling this. And if you are dealing with organization, when you see missing values, maybe in a column, that you know like this is important, you can report it. But if it is just blank rows, you can just filter that one out. You don't need to report that. So we change data type, we split, we merge, and we create new calculation. Also, we join, let's say I have this orange, we can see that is joined, is in one orange. But when we split it into half like this, so we can do something like that too. So I'm sure during the first introduction of this class, Mr. Adewale will have treated us one thing about 7 rules of data analysis. So we can see on my screen how many stars do we have. We have like 7 stars on the screen. These stars, you see that I put gold star. You know, in business, when we see gold, it's like big money. So in data analysis too, these 7 golden rules are very, very important. Am I the one that developed these 7 golden rules? No, it's not by me. It's by Brown Consulting. I will just read it because our class is practical. I just want to give us introduction of what this is about. But in case you have any question, put it in the chat because we are going to the practical session very, very soon. But we are going to have a Q&A at the end of the session. At the end of the session. So let's continue. So these 7 golden rules is by Brown Consulting. And whether you are somebody that like coding, maybe you use Python, you use R, whatever you are using. In fact, these 7 golden rules applies to you. So when you attend the Power BI class, it's not just Power BI. There is something we call transferable knowledge in data analysis. It's like what you learn from one tool, you can use it in the other. So the rules are, I will just state the rules. One rule of heading, no empty columns, no empty rows, all dates in a single column, unique data in unique columns, avoid totals and subtotals. In case you people that you are writing calculation in Excel, that you will put totals at the end of your sheet. So this applies to this. In doing data for analysis, in case you see this, you need to remove it, please. No obstruction around the data. Eliminate notes, straight text, or whatever the skin of the orange you are seeing in your data. So before I dive into our scenario, let me look into the chart if there is a question there. So if there are no questions in the chat, I'm moving to our scenario now. So any question before I move into the scenario? Because in our scenario, it's going to be interesting. You guys will be employed by me for now. So I'm like your PPA because we are Corper. So like you're employed by me and the moderator is my assistant. And I asked the moderator, hey, thank you, Patrick, for putting it in the chat. I asked the moderator to send data to you guys to clean so that we can look at something that is going wrong in my company. Yes, moderator na LGI. So thank you very much. So moderator, now the scenario, we are going to our scenario. Any questions so far? Just type it in the chat and I will state our scenario. I dedicate like 15 to 20 minutes to this session and I still have a little bit time. So in case you have question in the chat, drop it. But no question. Shall we start our scenario now? Good. Now, so you are working for Ganil Analytics Limited. And the company clerk has provided you with an Excel spreadsheet that needs to be prepared for analysis. In this spreadsheet, there are many inconsistencies there, and you can use the laws that you have learned or everything you've learned in this analytics Corper workshop to perform this analysis. Your tasks are as follows. Ensure that all column headers are consistent and correctly labeled. Remove any unnecessary rows and columns. So let me put this to and go into Power BI and come back. Let me state everything. Identify and report any anomalies in the data. Please note, my company is a small scale business. It is only on New Year's Day or Christmas we used to sell 1,000 units. So maybe during February or any other months, you see 1,000 units. Something is wrong. Moderator has made a mistake. So in case you say anything like this, we call it anomaly or an outlier. So in case you see this in this data, you need to report it to me, and I will tell you my decision. Verify that each column has the correct data type. Restructure the sales order date table for clarity and accuracy, and add the product name to the sales sheet. So can you screenshot and send it to the group or in the chat so that we follow along? In case you are like me, I've opened my Power BI on my screen, but for some people that are still having issue with Power BI, I'm going to do you a favor on how to navigate to Power Query in Excel. But this class is not a Power Query in Excel class. Please note, within a few minutes, I'll just show this once, so please catch up. You open a blank spreadsheet, you go into the data tab, you click on Get Data, the data tab in Excel. You click on the Get Data, and when you click on Get Data, you can either get data from file from here. You can see Excel workbook, CSV. These are the two files we are needing in Excel. So if it is Excel, you go here. For the sake of people that don't have Power BI installed on their system, this is for you. Then you navigate to where you save the file in your system. So here is the sales data that they sent to you. So it shows an interface like this. We can see and notes in case you are seeing something like this when you are loading your data. When you see this gray icon and you see table, they might mean the same thing. You can see this data and this data are the same. But the reason why this one is showing color is because this is a table. I did not name this table, that's why. I named it table 1. That's why it's showing. They are the same data. But when we look at this also happened in Power BI. You can see I love you, Corper is around there. But when we look at table, there is nothing. The data is straight. Then you click on transform and your Power Query pops up if you are using Excel. That is Power Query interface. This is Power Query interface, and you'll be doing the same thing as me. But for now, I'm not using this for this class, and I'm quitting my Excel. So we are focusing only on Power BI. But if you want to do that, you're good. So now let's get to the matter. If you're interested, I know it's interesting, so follow me along. So Your company has provided you with a Power BI premium, and when you want to start, me, I just like open blank report first. I don't know why. It used to sweet me. So we can see get data here, like the way we get it in Excel, we can get it. But I like going into the Power Query interface first. That's me. Or you can import the data directly here, like the way we did it in Excel. This is what I want to first use. So I double tap this and I will see a beautiful interface like this. Very, very beautiful. And I will give you an expo. If you know how to use Power Query, you can work with Microsoft Fabrics because there is a tool in Microsoft Fabrics called Data Flow Gen 2. Forget the name, it's still Power Query. In Azure, we have Data Factory, we have Synapse, and you still have this Data Flow Gen 2 in there. So in case you go to interview, based on the confidence you have gained in this class, you can just tell them, I can work with Azure. I've done training in Power Query, which is Data Flow Gen 2. So now I want to create my data cleaning step. So we call it query. And before we can do anything, I'm going to right click here, or you can see new source here. I'm going to enlarge my screen now. So you can see on this tab, we have home tab here, transform tab, add column, view, tools, and many, many interesting things. So this is what I double tap, the transform. So you can double tap it or click down and click on transform. You will go to this interface. So you can click on new source and click on Excel workbook. So I'm going to use that. Then I will navigate to where my file is in. The first file we are going to work with is our Excel workbook. Then I open it just as this. Then we see it connecting to where our data is. Like I stated earlier, we have some things that we should note. I'm going to open this data we are dealing with now in Excel so that we can get along very well. We can see this is the spreadsheet we are dealing with. We have a table here now. So let me rename this table. Sales order table. We have it here. We can see I have some text around this. I have text here and I have this table. So you are going to see this magic now. So let me open this Power Query again for people that did not get that. For people that are asking the transform, you're on the Power BI Home tab. You will see this on the Home, you will see transform data, and you click on it, and you can double tap anyone you wish, and you click on transform data. So now, before I use this new source, now I'm going to right click at this query panel here. We call this section query panel. I will see new query. I can get data from Excel, SQL Server, analysis. And if you click on more, you are going to see Microsoft Fabrics. We have over 300 plus connectors in Power BI. So wherever your data is, you are safe. And there is one trick I usually use. If I don't know the data source I want to use, I will go to this order and click on web or this old data feed. Maybe you are dealing with a website. You copy the website URL and put it here. You will connect. Very, very cool. But for now, we are dealing with Excel workbook. You will see file, Excel workbook. So new query, Excel workbook. Then I open this spreadsheet again. It's telling me because I've opened it in down here, it will not open. So we can see we have the sales order table. When I renamed it earlier, we can see it here now. It's very clean. Like I said, this is a sheet. And when you see this sheet, you can see the I love you text up there. So when is the best case to use table and to use a worksheet? I will tell you the truth. If I'm collaborating with other people using other products like Python, I will go for this. But if I'm staying in Power BI, I'll be honest with you, I don't have time for stress. I will go for this table because we can see that this is cleaned already. But this worksheet is going to have like the I love you copper around it. So I love you all. So I can decide to import a single data or everything. So I need this. I'm not using the one that is clean. So I click on these two, this sales data and sales order table. Those are the two I need. Then I click OK. So when I click OK, I'm going to see something like this. So I can see this one now. It has changed type. It has promote header. For this sales order table, I'm going to rename it. You can rename at this property section up here. This is like a query settings. And in this place, you can go up and go back. So from this point, that's where I like. You see these promote headers. I'm going to delete these two. You can, everything that is doing that we are doing here is called step at this right hand side. Like you move from here, it's going to document it for you. So I will delete this change data type. I will delete this promote header. I only have source and navigation. In case you are following along, please do that. So I'm just going to rename it sales order. And in case you want to rename also, you can come to this side and right click and you will see rename. So in case my screen is shallow for you, somebody said I should come again. So when we load this data, we are going to, yours might automatically create promote header for you. Let me see where is promote header. Is it? So something like this might happen for you, like this when you just load this sales data. So in case you are seeing it, you come to this applied step. That's why I said I'm increasing my screen size for you so that you see it clearly now. So you will see that it creates this first step for us. Power Query has one beautiful thing. I can come back and move forward. So I don't need this change type because you can see by default, there is a way we can stop this attitude. But in this class, we are not doing that. So I remove the change type and I remove the promote header. Now I want to deal with this data the way it is. So in our spreadsheet, I'm going to be showing our spreadsheet along. I think when I start this class, I have like 30 minutes more. Now, once again, please watch along, Patrick. You go to Excel workbook, you click on sales data. Oh, I've opened it down again. You open your Excel workbook. Like I said, this class is a follow along class. You are going to have recording and you can rewatch. So we have, like I said, if you see something like that has color with it, this is like a table. This is like the worksheet, and I demonstrate it for you. And why is it like this? Something like this. Again. We can see this table here. It has I love you up here. It has I love you here, Corper here. It has text around it in this spreadsheet. But when I click on it, the table is named sales order. Power BI has a function whereby you can only insert tables in Excel. So this table is the one that is showing color. You can see, because I opened the spreadsheet, that's why it's doing like this. So what I just did was I click on this and I click on this and I load it. That's what I did. So you do that. You don't need to get what I'm doing in this class. You can rewatch again. And that's the beauty of we have a recording. So we have something like this now. Please, are you with me, guys? Now we have column one, the way it is in Excel. We have all this after we import it. So in our rules, what does this row one and row two state in the chart? What we are supposed to do based on our rules. If it is only this one we did, I'm happy. Based on our rules, somebody said remove them. So what's the rules name? Somebody said empty column. Which column are empty up here? Somebody said remove the empty column. So what I'm seeing here, number one, I have empty rows because I don't need this. Based on our data, let me see if I can open this on web. That will be fast. Moderator, you can put it in the chat how many minutes I have. since I start the class officially. Please don't ask me to log in. It's, it's just connect straight. This web version is good. So this is the way the data is supposed to be like, just here from here. Wow, 15 minutes. Okay. Now, based on our rules, I have row 1 and row 2 that are empty. So what I will first do is I will go to this up tab. You can see in the home tab up here, you will see remove rows. And what did I want to remove? This top row 1 and 2 alone. And I'll press remove rows because I know where the R is at the top. I will press remove top rows and I will press 2 because it's only 2 I want to remove, and I press OK. You can see that this I love you has removed. Like the person that said empty column, I can see that column 7 and column 8 are empty column. Somebody said, why did I remove the row? Because I need to make sure my data is clean and is like this. That's why it is. I need to make sure that my data is clean. And based on the rules I sent to you, we need to remove empty rows because it's going to affect our clean data. Everything you are doing in data cleaning has a reason. So there are many ways to remove a column. You can either click on it and remove it and press remove, or click on it, hold shift, click on the other and press remove. So in case you do this, it's going to still remove it. Or you go to choose column at the home tab up here, you press choose column and you remove 7 and 8. So I've showed you 3 ways you can remove. And in case you want your own to be like mine, you can do that. Then after we have removed all the empty rows and the empty column, the next thing for us in our rule book is we have ensured that all columns and header are consistently labeled. We have not done this. We have removed unnecessary rows and columns. So our next objective is to make sure that all headers are consistent. So how can we do this? Because we know that this row 1 is our header. So we just go up here at the home tab, you will see use first row as header. And Power Query has one important feature. When I press this, I will try it again. Like I said, you can delete your previous step and you can rename it. If you double tap this or click on F2, you can rename your step. So I'm going to delete my last 2 step and do it again. Sorry, it's like my network just disgraced me. So once again, I will try my step again. I have something like this. Let me just extract it from here. In case you are watching, I'm not repeating after this. I have something like this. First two are empty. I press remove top rows. Please note, we can't treat everything in this class. What you watch and you can learn. So I press remove the two. Then I come to here. I hold this column 7 and column 8. I remove it. So I say that my headers are like this now. So the next thing for me is to make sure this top is my row header. So at the home tab up here, you will see use first row as header. So automatically, it might create change type for you, but you can leave it, you can delete it. Me, I'm deleting it. So now our data is like this. So what was the next step? Somebody said, what's the next step in the chat? Based on our rules and our agenda, all dates must be in a single column. Then how can we achieve this? We know that this is our product ID. This is date, this is date, this is date. So we want something like this. We have product ID, we have date, and we have the quantity. Those are the three we want. But currently, right now, we have like 7. Please, moderator, be typing my time. So we have 6, and we want to make it 3. So what should I do? I know that I don't need this. For what I want to do, I need this remaining one. So you click on product ID alone. You can go, there are different ways to do this, but due to sake of time, I'm going to be fast with it. So you can right click and set on pivot other columns. It creates something like this. You click on only product ID alone because you don't need the product ID because these are others. You right click and you click on pivot other columns. Another way is you can go to transform tab. You can see it here. When I'm not clicking on the product ID again, I'm clicking on 91 to 95. These are the one that I select. I can right click this on pivots and still click on pivot only selected columns. It still does the same thing. Then the next step on based on my rules are all column name must be named correctly. So I double tap this attributes and I name it date. This value, I don't like it. I change it to quantity. So that's like how to rename your columns in Excel. I be in Power Query. So the next thing for me is we can see this product ID. Based on our rules, we need to make sure that our data type are in correct order because we have stated the rules and we need to fulfill it. So some people can see this product ID as numbers, but in ideal way, it should be text. And to change data type, you can do it on 2 tabs. You can go to the home tab and you can go to the transform tab. So you see data tab on the transform tab here. You see data tab on the home tab here, and you can right click. And one thing I want to show you is there is no one way to do something. If you right click, you will still see change data type here and you pick the one you want. So don't do as if the way I'm doing it. This is what makes you unique and what is going to make you get hired. So on this product ID, I'm going to click on transform data type and click on text. So you give me text. This is date. We don't need to say it. So, but now our date is text. And in case you want to have something like mine on my screen, it doesn't matter. I count it as FEC, but it's very good. So you can see I don't like this monospace. Let me leave it. You can on this column quality and column profile. You have something like this. Go to view tab, on column profile and column quality. So you are going to see like a snapshot of our data. So when you see this data now, it said that we don't have any error and we don't have any empty, but this is text. So I need to change this to date based on a role. So is date now. We can see this time change up here to date. And now let me zoom my screen because we don't have any columns again. And now we have this column quantity, this quantity column. We can see they put any there. So we can just use whole number. And another thing, if you look at down here, you can see it's showing one thing. Sorry, please, we don't have enough time. It's showing one thing, column profiling based on top 1,000 rows. What Power Query does is Power Query is created on one engine called Vertipack engine. And this engine is very, very wise. Imagine now that you are dealing with like 10 million rows. So what this engine does is it go into the data like this. It said, okay, you have 10 million rows. I'm just going to randomly select after the header. I'm going to randomly select like the first 1,000. So that's what it does here. So this is showing column profiling based on top 1,000 rows. But you can change it up here in case you want to see the entire data. There is option there. But when you look at the entire data, you load it, you put it on column profiling based on the entire data, it will be slow. So for once again, if you want to on this column profile and column quality, you go into the view tab, you will see column quality and you will see column profile. You will see it there. So you can click on any column and you see something like this. So in case you are seeing something like this, we have unique, we have counts. In the modeling section, we are going to explain it better. So I'm going to lower my screen. So based on this now, we have cleaned this data very, very well. Like our data is cleaned. So we have done this assignment. So moderator, can I borrow like 10 minutes to show this? Or we should end the class?
So you can take 5 minutes, please.
All right,
It is
thank you.
enough.
So in this data, okay. In this data also, I'll be fast with this. We have two headers here. So what I want to do is I'm going to be fast with it. I'm going to remove this one. One of these, I will remove it. This is empty. This is empty. This is empty. Here is 90 and it's showing 90 in text. And we can see total up here. So this is just Jara. So in the recording, you are going to see it. So when I look at this data up here, as I load it, I'm going to see promoted headers and change type. I'm going to remove it. So my data is like this now. So like I said, I'm going to remove this too. So once again, I will go into the top rows and remove one of them. I say remove one. Promote header. The next step for me is to make this other ID here. And I'll go to the home tab, use first row as header. So then I scan my data. I see this column 6 is empty. I remove it. Let me still scan my data again. I see column 2 is empty. Based on our rules, I remove it. Then I look at null. I click on other ID, and I'm saying what I want to do here is I will look into this other ID and I will say anywhere you see null, I don't want it. I have it here, is null. Then now, let me remove this change data up here. Let's leave it for the sake of time. I have filtered it. For the sake of people that are watching now, I have this 90 here, and I can just say, because this data type is in any, I can put it as text for now. And you wonder is numbered. I'll put it as text. And I can say change 90 to 90. And I like using this advanced option, and I'll press match entire cell contents. So it has changed. Then I go back up here again in this selling price column, and I change it to row number. So my data is clean, but I can still see that order 1170 is a null order. So the best case for you, if you are working with your boss, to do this is report this to your boss. But in this case, we don't need it. So I'm going to remove 1170. So I've removed it. Then, in case you are like me, you don't have time. Now, our total, like we stated in our rules, we have total here. Thank God I've already named it total. So no need of finding the 2000 again. We have already seen it. But in case there is no total indication, so when you look at this data, you just sort. This is the best way to find out normally. You sort from descending to ascending. Then you see that this 2000 is here, and we can see all of them are in. This is a typing error, and we remove this 2000. Now, another rule is sorting usually slows your data model. So when I've sort finished, I can just go back here, delete only the sorted rows, and everything will still work perfectly. And in case you are like me, you don't have time, there is this option here that you can use in case you don't have time. You can see detect data type on the transform tab. If we click on it, it will automatically detect your transform data, but use it carefully. So we are the class now. So thank you, moderator, for giving me extra time. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. I'm sure everybody has learned a lot from this session. Please, if you have to slightly tap our facilitator, please. Thank you, thank you. Chinyere, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. So now, so when we start time, it's time for us to go to Q&A. Please, Mr. Daniel, I'm sure he's still there. So if you guys have questions, please kindly raise up your hand. I will meet you one by one so you can ask your question. Please, if you have any question, please raise up your hand. Okay, okay, I can see Moses. I can see Moses. Okay, and if you don't want to ask you can if you don't want to ask via voice, you can ask in the chat box too, please. I won't be taking just be taking 5 questions because of time, please. Okay, I'll start with Moses. Yeah, start with Moses. Okay, Moses, I will meet you now. So ask a question. Okay, Moses,
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
All right, thank you very much for the session today, our tutor. So my question is direct. In the case where we are having some columns, right, that are either null, which means we have a missing, that particular cell is missing, data there is missing, and then we have some with some field with what do you call now, an active cell. In other words, we have an active cell, then we have an inactive cell, just like that, and so on. Not like we have an inconsistent missing data. We have one active, the other one inactive, the following one active, and so on. How do you deal with that? Because I feel removing what do you call now, the empty cell might result to a wrong analysis. Please, how do we deal with that? Thank you.
Thank you, Moses. Mr. Daniel, please. You want to answer that now, or you want us to answer the questions? Hello, Mr. Daniel. Sorry. Sorry. I think Mr. Daniel is having a bad network actually. Sorry. So, I believe you can all hear me. If you can hear, please. Please, if you can hear me, kindly notify me the chat session that you can hear me. Uh, Mr. Daniel is actually having a bad network currently, but he's no longer on the chat. So, probably we can ask our questions on the main group. Then Mr. Gani will attend to them. I'm sorry, please, if you have questions, you can ask on our WhatsApp group. But Mr. Gani is having a bad network currently. So I apologize about that. So you can just um type in your questions in our WhatsApp group, then we'll respond to them. Sorry. Yeah. And thank you all for attending today's session. Tomorrow's session it will be around 4 to 5. So let us forget. And tomorrow will be filled with a lot of things that you guys are going to enjoy because we are going deeper. Power BI, data modeling, and DAX. So and I also enjoy everybody to make sure they practice everything they've watched today. Play around Power BI. You just have to continue to learn. Just play around them. Play around with it. Watch videos on YouTube. So thank you everyone for joining. I really appreciate your time. Thank you everyone. And please let us also be punctual tomorrow, please. 15 minutes before the class. Let us be there. Thank you everyone. And don't forget, those people with questions, please don't forget, please. Kindly type your questions in the group chat. I will definitely forward them to Mr. Gani for him to answer. Please. Thank you very much, everyone. And thank you for your time. Have,
Hello,
have a lovely weekend. Okay.
hello,
Hello.
moderator.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, everyone. In case you have any question, I think I have network
Okay,
failure.
okay. Yeah, it's back now. Okay, okay, I will, Moses, please kindly ask your question again. It's back online now. Mr. Gani, this can you hear?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, so I will allow mic for you, Moses. So please ask your question again. Mr. Gani is here.
I'm sorry for that. I don't know.
Okay, sir, can you hear me, please?
I can hear you.
All right, thank you for the lectures today. Please, my question, like I said earlier, is direct. In the case where we have um, a particular cell that is empty, in other words, an inactive cell, right, on a row. then we have, let's say 10 cells on that row. That is 10 columns, in other words, on that particular row. And then you have some active, the other ones inactive, one or two inactive, and other ones are active. How do you deal with that? Because uh, I feel that removing completely that row may alter the analysis or the result of the analysis.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that particular cell, rather than removing that row completely?
So if you remember, before I remove this column here, I state one thing. You can copy this data
I can see
and
your
give it to
screen.
your boss first and tell, like, okay, Oga, you are working for me for now. I'm looking at this data and this has value and there is no value here. So what should we do about it? It might be that when that person is typing in Excel, the person omitted that. So when you see something like that, you verify from your boss, and based on the outcome, the boss can tell you to remove it, or your boss can tell you, okay, change the value. So any of the outcome, you can replace it. I hope I've answered your question.
So I think there are times when maybe that reaching out may be a long process. I mean, the course where you have domain knowledge, right?
See,
And so, can you hear me, please?
yeah.
In
See,
a okay.
even though you have domain knowledge, even till now, I don't remove data without consulting my boss. Sometimes I will remove data. That data I remove, I will copy it to an Excel spreadsheet so that when they ask me in the future, I'll say, this is what I remove. Please, you need to be careful on that. So in case you don't have any colleague to reach out to, go with your intuition and your decision, but document it somewhere. And since it's Power Query, you can go back, maybe you filter something somewhere and delete that part alone, and every other thing will work. I hope we are on the same page now.
Yes, sir.
So it's very tricky. And for some of you that are doing portfolio projects to practice, like I said, you are the manager. So you just state it in your portfolio that as the manager state that this column is anomaly. So I contact him and he said we should remove. So any other question apart from Iyanozon?
Yes, there is. So that was Moses. Now it's Yanu that wants to ask his question now.
Okay.
So
Sorry,
yes.
Moses. I'm calling you Iyano.
So I will
Iyano,
mute. Yes, I will mute him now. So you can. Yanu, can you hear me?
Uh,
Okay.
yes, I can hear you.
Go
Good
ahead, please.
afternoon,
good
moderator, my
afternoon.
AGI. Good afternoon, Mr. Ganil. Thank you for the class. It was a great one. Learned quite a lot of things. So my question was, when we were cleaning the data, especially for those rows that had null values. So what you did was you filtered them out. So I wanted to ask
Yes.
that, can we remove those rows also instead of filtering out?
Yes, if you filter it out, like I stated in my class earlier, that there is no one way to do something.
Mm.
If you feel like your decision is to remove, if I filter it out, I'm still removing it. If I remove, I'm still removing it. So we are doing the same thing. So you're free to do whatever works for you. But whatever you do, you see, like everything I did was going along with those rules that I state. And if you can have those rules at the back of your mind, it will make whatever situation you find yourself easy.
All right. Thank you very much. That's all.
Okay, thank
Any
you,
further
Yanu.
question?
Yeah, there's one last person. Patrick. Patrick, I'll be unmuting your mic now, so feel free to ask your question. Okay, Patrick, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Oh, wow. Finally, my mic works today. Good afternoon, Mr. Ganil. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So,
Congratulations, Patrick.
for the past 3 weeks, 2 weeks, we're struggling to speak.
This calls for
So,
celebration.
as in, so thank you so much, Mr. Ganil, for your um lecture. It was really great. So, while you were cleaning the data, the point where you had to do that on pivot, the data was violating the date on a single column rule, that's rule 4. So you did one on pivot and immediately you transformed it such that exactly.
So
Uh-huh.
you click on
So
this and right click and on pivot other columns.
yes, so I saw what happened. So I'm just trying to make sense of it. Like, what really happened? Like, is it that all the other values now align with similar dates?
Okay. This is what happened.
Okay.
You know we have product here now.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
going to say product 101.
Okay.
And I want to turn this into 3 column. I click on this and I'll pivot the rest. So it's now going to say product 1. Okay, let me use this as it. Product 101. Date. Date will be top here. Date will be 9/1/2025. Quantity will be 500. You will still go back again. Product ID 101. Dates will be 9/1/2025. I'll be 9/2/2025. Quantity 500. It will do the same for every row first. After doing it, it will go back to product ID 102. Date, this is date column. It will put
Mhm.
date 9/1 and quantity will be 250. Let's say this is 300. Let me change this to 300. So in case that one is 300, you still do it again for everything. That's why we have it like this now. 101, 500. You can see 500, 300, 250 for everything. One by one. I hope I've answered your question or you have any other. And in case you have
Okay.
career advice, so you can ask that one too before we leave. And in case you want to follow me, you can follow me on LinkedIn. That is my name. And you will see my beautiful chic as my picture. This is the picture I even use. So, Patrick, do you still have any more questions?
No, thank you. So from what I see, that's the final result. That means we will still have sorry, I don't know if you could share that Excel. Sorry. The transformed one. Okay. So that means we still have a single product ID appearing multiple times, but then
Yes,
it will the dates will not be the varying what will make them to vary.
yes. It's like something is like this, and we just say, oh yeah, bent. Something is like this before. And we say, oh yeah, go like this. That's why you can see they appear twice, like 5 times here.
Okay. Now another question. Does it not bring about duplicates?
In this case, no, because
Okay.
this is a transactional table. It's like I said, it's not every time you use it. The reason why we did it was our dates is not in a single column. There are sometimes I even leave my data like this for some people.
Okay.
Like I state, everything you want to do, understand it before you apply it.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
So I think we don't have any question again. So what we did in this class, practice, and go to LinkedIn. Like me, I'm always acting on LinkedIn. If you offend me, there is high possibility I'm going to write a post about you on LinkedIn. But I don't do that. Just joking. So go on LinkedIn, write about it, and talk. You don't even know who's watching. So Patrick, you can remove your hand in case any other person is asking question. We cannot. Any question before we end this session? And I will go and watch some Premier League match.
There's no question again. Thank you very much, Mr. Ganyu. Please let us clap for
Thank
Mr.
you.
Ganyu. Thank you very much for your time. Please let us forget our session tomorrow by 4. I think I already spoke about the topic for tomorrow. It's about data modeling and DAX fundamentals. I'm sure you won't want to miss it.
And
So thank you.
lastly, sorry, moderator. Lastly, if you finish, just click on close and apply. Everything will load and save. So we didn't have time to show that.
Okay. Thanks everyone. So see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you very much, Mr.
Bye.
Ganyu, once again. And thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining.
Bye.
Bye.